Well, welcome back to a beautiful day here with your boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour. I mean, the birds are chirping, the sun is out, everything's good in the world.
Flowers are sprung.
Yeah.
You know,
With all the rain we have, it better be.
the grass is perfectly manicured. We actually died and went to heaven, Derek. I think that this, right now, this 1 hour is a escape and needed so that we can mentally disconnect. The problem is, it means there's work to do afterwards, and
Correct.
that is something that needs to be fixed.
Well, we have work to do first.
Queen City Creative Works, thank you for being a sponsor for our show. We appreciate you guys. They are a family-ran embroidery company and shirt-making, customized making company. Seating charts for weddings, t-shirts, sweaters, coasters, tumblers.
They don't technically do embroidery, but everything else under the sun they do.
Yeah, by definition. They don't do embroidery, but we appreciate them. We thank them, and we are looking forward to our continued partnership using them for lots of different fun things. Also, if you haven't been notified yet, you can buy branded items off of their website, queencitycreativeworks.com, and you can buy bottle openers, speed bottle openers, as well as water bottles and all the things alike.
Coasters.
Also, Addie's logo's on here, so shout out to Addie's. We appreciate their continued partnership. You guys rock. And now we can talk about the useless fact.
What you got, bud?
Today's useless fact: Jean Claude Van Damme's epic Volvo split commercial. Did you ever see it?
Mm-hmm.
He does a split in the Volvo commercial.
He's a beast.
Was done in one shot without practice.
Really?
He's
amazing. Mm-hmm. Who would you have in a fight, Jean Claude Van Damme or Jackie Chan?
Jean Claude.
You'd rather have Jean Claude be your partner, or you'd rather fight
partner.
him? Really?
No, yeah, yeah.
Over Jackie Chan, though?
Yeah, he's not Bruce Lee.
So? Jackie Chan's still a beast.
He is, but Jean Claude Van Damme is also a beast.
All right, well, how about Jean Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal?
That's not even a question.
Some people's throats are down there.
I kick you now.
Isn't that
Steven Seagal is one of the worst human beings to ever exist, without question.
whose joke is that? That's Tom Segura's joke.
Yeah.
You saw him recently.
I did. We did see Tom Segura. That was in our weekly recap, which I guess we can dive into.
No, we can still talk about Jean Claude Van Damme.
All right, Jean Claude Van Damme.
What was?
Hold on. I need my phone for that. You said what was?
Yeah. What was his first movie?
See? Here we go. Jean Claude Van Damme first movie. Let's see.
I think he was like a super young kid, right?
Probably. His IMDb I have to pull up and then scroll. He's grossed like $33 million. Breakin' in 1984.
Oh, okay, so he was older. When was he born? He was born in the 60s, right? He's our parents' age?
Here we go. See, this
They should say it right on his IMDb profile.
age.
His EBDBB and
He's 61 right now.
Yeah, okay, so parents' age.
He's Belgian.
Well, with a name like Jean Claude Van Damme, I would assume he's definitely not American.
He was born in 1960 in Belgium. Other names, JCVD and The Muscles from Brussels. Oh, goodness. Let's move on from Jean Claude Van Damme. So,
Who would you take in a fight over Jean Claude Van Damme? How about that question?
Bruce Lee.
Yeah?
Bruce Lee.
Didn't he die a weird death?
Yeah, we talked about it. It was basically an accidental OD
Right.
that led to some other stuff, plus meditation. Yeah, his heart just, like, stopped.
What do you think happened to Bob Saget?
I don't know. I haven't caught up on the conspiracy theories on that because they're saying it was brain trauma that led to a brain bleed.
Because his skull was fractured.
Head trauma that led to a brain bleed. But then the autopsy doctor came out and said that the trauma that was on his skull does not work for somebody that just like fell in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So he thinks there's more to it. Who knows, man?
But I guess the hotel came out and said, like, no one came in or out of the room.
Yeah.
because they have record of that. So either somebody, Jean Claude Van Damme, did through the window, or Bob Saget's beating himself up.
Either way, it's sad.
Yeah.
He's another one that went too early. He was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, weekly recap. Saw Tom Segura murdered.
Did he?
Murdered. Wasn't even close. I'll tell you one thing. The clientele of Tom Segura, way different than Theo Von.
Oh, I'm sure.
Same venue, same locale, different. No mullies. Not in this one. Just a bunch of, housewives and dates, and everybody was very polite in their seats. It was very different.
What was Theo Von's crowd like, besides mullets?
Rowdy, man.
Yeah.
They were all juiced up, yelling gang, gang. I mean, it was a vibe.
Which one did you prefer?
From an overall, that's tough. But, from an overall entertaining value, Theo Von is just, out of this world, because you don't think that many people have mullets. There's not that many people drinking Bud Lights,
Right.
Nah, no way. And then, boom. They were there. And then Tom Segura, it's I had an IPA before I came here.
See, I feel like I would like Tom Segura's more.
I tucked in my flannel.
Yeah, really.
But Tom, yeah, you would, because Tom is literally just I'm going to sit down, I will laugh when I find something funny, and then not talk or disturb anybody around me. Theo Von is just loud cackles, yelling gang, gang, getting them all juiced up, feeding into his energy, because that's how he works. That's what it is. It's just different.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. He made a couple good jokes that were you didn't expect at all. The punchlines at all.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar to what's his name? Our boy, Jesselneck.
Mm-hmm.
You're I didn't expect that to come up, but all brand new material. Never heard any of his jokes before that night, so that was good. I enjoyed that, because most times big names like that, they're trying to whatever, but he did call himself out. He made a joke about a horse killing a guy, and he did the punchline, and there was a couple chuckles, and then he's yeah, all right, I'll work on that. And that actually got more attention than the actual joke did.
Yeah.
And everyone actually laughed at it. He's you can't be able to be home runs. I get it. And then he was just all right, I'll win you back. And then his next joke murdered, and we're just all right, yeah, it's fine. But he had a Bills helmet on the little bar stool next to him, and then his microphone was under the helmet. So that was cool. He came out, waved at everybody, still wore a bomber jacket like he always does, lifted up the helmet, went like that. He's I get it, Bill's Mafia, and then he picked up the mic and then went off.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was a good show. It was a good time. It was myself, Colleen, obviously, and then my sister and her husband. So good time, good event. Freezing though, but yeah, it was a lot of people. It was good. It was a good time. And then otherwise, just fighting this weather, man. So we gotta fill people in, because people really don't understand, and we talk about it a lot. Oh, we're busy, but no, this is insane.
Yeah, but I want people to know that this isn't a woe is me. This is our weekly recap, and our weekly recap is busy. It's not feel bad for us because we're busy. It's no. If we wanted you guys to feel bad for us, we would just stop recording. But
Yeah.
we're not.
Yeah, right. We can't.
So
We can't. But yeah, you have 75 hours of editing to do. So, just I know we're recording. I don't really care, though. I shot that invoice, so that's out there for the sweaters.
Gotcha.
We have sweaters for sale. If you want to buy a sweater, please buy a sweater. Derek's wearing it. It's from Positive Approach down on the west side.
yeah, every single feedback that I've gotten from the sweaters, this is the most comfortable sweatshirt I've ever worn in my life. It's so big and flowy, and our blue BHH one, which we showed during the studio tour. If you guys want to check that out, go back or come up and check out Thursday. I don't know.
We're recording too much.
I have no idea what's going on. But go check out that video, because we do point it out. But that one is very tight and restrictive, and it makes you feel swole, because the sweater's tight and it's true to size. This one's yo, you want to watch a movie later or something? What's up? That's what this is. This is just so comfortable.
It is.
And fits perfectly. It's preem.
Yes. So we are all caught up with orders
Yeah,
and
everything's
shipping
been
out,
shipped.
which is huge. So
We got to figure out a new shipping method, though.
So, all right, that's part of it. So, you and I we're all wearing like 1,000 hats, basically. I'm the shipping department. You shipped out 2. Thank you. You're the editor. I'm coordinating and setting up certain interviews. So are you. And we're going over like, you're in charge of taxes. Like I can't. You would not. We would get arrested within the first like 6 months of the return. They're just like, okay, give it back to Derek. Like the IRS would email and just be like, I'm not even going to count this against you. Just let Derek do this. Good attempt, Mike. And then I will respond with, appreciate that.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's like either Derek does this or you just go to jail for the month. Like you choose. So, but yeah, I mean, it's nuts, dude. Like we have, I think the worst part about this is timing in multiple fronts, not only professionally, but with the podcast. There's 17 interviews, a single barrel coming out, weekly episodes, Wednesday and Thursday episodes, all being recorded, edited, published, live. The biggest push is Patreons because they get things a week early. So that's a huge uptick on pressure to ensure that things are in and ready and done. So,
but we love you guys, so thank you.
Yeah.
And tonight, COO, schedule the quarterly hang. We need to do that, man. Patreon members, we got to do it.
Yeah, so what do you want me to do? Just pick a
Zoom.
day?
Yeah, pick a day, pick a Zoom. We got to send out the Zoom link. We got to send that out like pronto.
Let's just do it on a Sunday. Because that's the
Yeah.
only day.
That works.
That's the only day.
You and I don't even have to be in the same room. Just fucking do it from home. I don't care.
No, we got to be in the same room.
Nah, dude, we're good.
We represent the pod, man.
Yeah, but we can be like friends. We're like friends, bro. This is like a hangout. This isn't a formal podcasting. It's like, yo, you want to drink something together?
Yeah, until you show up and everyone's just like, Derek, what is that? And then you got headphones and microphones and lights and it's just like, what's going on? Yeah, like, I'll just come over. It's whatever.
We're not recording that either, so
it's Patreons only.
Yeah, if you want to be a part of it, you better head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. You can choose tiers. I think the quarterly hangs start at what, $10 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
If you're a $10 a month patron, you can hang out with us for however long. We're not even going to put a time limit on it. We're just going to sit there and drink. We're just going to drink whiskey and have a good time.
Yeah, until Zoom kicks us off. What if we just do the 20th of March? Done.
Dunzo.
It's a Sunday. There's nothing. There's no Bills football. There's nothing happening. I'm back from out of state.
I'm not busy that day. We share a calendar.
Oh, no. We should do the 27th, actually, because family's in from out of town that weekend, and they leave Sunday. But I don't know what time yet. Gotcha. So it's either going to be the 20th or the 27th, depending on who leaves at what time. Do you have anything happen on the 27th?
Yeah. No.
All right. Let's just do 27.
Set, done.
All right, so I got it. See, look at that. Quarterly hang. All right.
With patrons.
And then we'll set a time. I'm just going to say 5 p.m. for now.
That works.
And it's going to be tomato color. And it's BHHHQ. Done in ready to rock.
We can try it out here.
Yeah, we could.
Because we do have internet out here. It's just I don't know how stable that was, and I don't want to test it during our interview.
Right.
So, other thing, too, just kind of bringing up the whole we're so busy.
This is the housekeeping section.
We were talking to some dude that we interviewed, and he's got a full team, like, editing for his YouTube video.
Yeah.
He does, like, all the... I'm just so jealous.
We don't have the funds for that. Yeah, we don't have the funds for that. I don't know if we ever will have the... Dude, it costs so much money.
We will. We'll have the funds for it.
It's multiple thousands of dollars a month. Oh, yeah. I'm so jealous. It's just like one dude set up, one dude edit, like.
And you and I just come in, BDE, let it swing. We're here.
Yeah. Let's record. Golly, one day it's gonna work out. But yeah, it's So Colleen has wedding season. Gina's got say like summer school or I don't like. Busy season for a teacher.
Exams, all that stuff.
Exams, there you go. I don't know if you ever do at work. Do you have a busy season?
Yeah.
When's your busy season for work?
Right before quarter end or year end. Every time, dude. Every time is busy season. when people start getting to the end of the year where their budget is either super large or their budget is going to be condensing, they try to squeeze stuff in. Then I have to make sure that all my stuff is done before year end. No one knows what I do. I'm kind of like an enigma out there. And I'm not going to start explaining because no one even knows what I'll be saying.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Blanket it. Just put
There's
up the umbrella.
So much in cybersecurity.
Yeah,
though.
just put up the umbrella.
But yeah, so there's busy seasons.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, I'm always busy.
I'm in foundation construction. Home, residential, foundation construction. So my busy season is February 15th until June 1st. So I have no life. So in that, we're slammed. We are slammed. And we're excited, though, because we can just take a second, in this case 1 hour, and just get after it. Just get after the weekly episodes, decompress. I wish we had a cigar, which, a little teaser, but it's good. Everything is good.
Still smells like cigars.
Kind
A
of.
little bit.
Did you do laundry since we got back from the interview?
No.
You didn't do laundry? Did your clothes smell?
Yeah.
Oh, I reeked,
but they're
bro.
downstairs, yeah.
I reeked. They're already washed. Already washed.
I got a Febreze bad.
It's fine. It might ruin it.
I mean, we have to do something. We have interviews coming up, bro. We can't come in and be like, smells like a...
I don't think anyone can smell that. Dude, you physically just put your nose on a filter. Yeah. This one I can't smell from here or from here. You're fine. But anyways.
Anywho.
So, what else do we got?
Dude, I pulled my hamstring the other day.
What are you talking about?
So, Wednesday, I had leg day. Did too much on the seated squat machine. Really hurt one of my hamstrings. Like, every time that I went to bend down, like to sit, it started throbbing. It was bad. I didn't really pull it, but it just hurt. And then Friday, Gina and I went to the golf dome because Saturday I had a golf fitting. So we went to the golf dome on Friday. I kind of taught her how to golf. She wants to get into it. Colleen does too, right? There we go. You and I go play golf. The women in the cart getting smashed, and they're swinging every once in a while. We just have a good time. Perfect. Put it in the calendar. So I went Friday to golf with her. Went Saturday morning to go golf on this to go get my driver fitting, and then after that, I went to the range again with Jamie. And in like 16 hours, I hit probably like 400 golf balls. And then my other hamstring started acting up on me. But I got my driver. Nailed it. $700. Perfect. It was so much fun. You should do it. But like...
And then just be like, thanks, and walk out like never buy anything.
It costs $100 to do. But if you go with them and then you buy a club from them...
Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah. Well, they take off the $100. So you basically didn't even get the fitting. It's so sweet. But I was going to swing... And I'm like, I feel like I need a stiffer club because I swing pretty hard. And he's like, okay. And then I started swinging, and he's like, yeah, you're at like 115, so we should probably up you a little bit. But I have a 7 degree driver. Bryson DeChambeau, bro.
I can't wait for you to play your first round with me, and then you just keep slicing it, and you're just like,
oh, yeah.
I don't know what happened.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to be good now. It's just I wanted to spend money. That's all it was.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, dude.
I started physical therapy, so we should probably talk about that because I don't know if have you ever gone through physical therapy?
No.
Wild experience.
Yeah.
They still fall under like CDC guidelines, which the CDC is an absolute joke anymore, like because of what they're currently experiencing at time of filming, which is February 23rd. So say a prayer. They lost like all credibility in the last 72 hours. But anyways.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that later. So you have to wear a mask, whatever. Put the thing on. Walk in. PT introduces himself. He's like, hey, and then he runs through his resume like I care. I'm like, you wouldn't be in the seat you're in if you didn't do what you just told me you did.
What do you mean?
Like his credentials. He's like, I'm a fully certified PT. I'm like, cool. Like, duh. You know what I mean? Like, don't insult me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you're a certified PT. Otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here doing a full eval. Like, it's ridiculous. Anyways.
Was he a young kid or something? Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he felt like he had to establish his credibility.
Kind of, but that's also like that's what you do. Like, that's the script, you know? It's like the outline that you just do that.
You don't see your dentist doing that.
Nobody gives a shit about dentists, Derek. That's why their divorce rates are super high, too. They're a dumpster fire.
Jesus, is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Dentist divorce rates?
Yeah, dude, have you...
In comparison to cops.
Fact. No, they're like equivalent.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because they're so insulting about people's teeth that they're like, I can't deal with it.
I know. Probably.
Your teeth are yellow, you got to stop drinking coffee. It's like, listen, bitch, I'm out of this relationship. No one tells me I stop drinking coffee.
Divorce amongst physicians...
That's different.
No, hold on. And other healthcare professionals in the United States. Analysis of census survey data. The actual divorce rates among dentists is 25.2%. It's not too bad when compared to other professions, but it's also not great. So there's like multiple articles about divorce rates being super high with dentists. It's like a stereotype, but there's like legitimate stats behind it.
I've never heard of that before.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, it's not like they work long hours.
I don't know, man. They're probably just sick of gingivitis. So anyways, I sit down.
Did you floss? All right, I'm getting a divorce.
I know.
No one tells me to floss.
So, how is this going to work, boom arm? All right.
I'm going to slow down with the drinking a little bit. You got to go fix it.
Shut up, Derek. What are you, my dad? Go take a walk. All right. So he sits down, runs through his resume. I'm like, whatever. And then for those that don't know, I have a couple specific issues with my right knee. Osgood Schlatters, patella tendon bursitis, and then something else. Basically, my knee is shot.
And that's the next COVID variant.
Probably. And I have a bone growth on the top of my tibia beneath my kneecap, and the bone growth is exactly where the tendon that goes over your kneecap ties into your tibia. So right where it enters your tibia, I have an additional bone growth right there. So every time I squat, it's extremely painful. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's no joke. Like, when you back squat and you break out your ass to start the rep and then you start to go down, as soon as I break out and then I slowly, like, I will show you. Like, here. That's it. I can already feel it. And then if I...
What does it feel like? Does it feel like your tendon going over?
It's a sharp pain, and
Really?
my knee is just like, that hurts, stop. And then if I continue through the rep, it progressively gets worse in pain, to the point where it's just like an 8 out of 10, and it's super painful. So I can't back squat anymore at the gym, period.
So what about right now? Can you just like bend your knee, or does it hurt when you bend your knee?
I have full range of motion, but if I'm...
So any weight applied to it makes it worse? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, just body weight hurts. Like, doing that, like, as soon as I start to do the rep, it activates
When you move your knee, can you feel like the tendon move over the bone growth?
But my knee cracks.
Yeah.
And it pops, and it's because of the tendon rolling over. But when I swing my leg, and then I put my heel to my butt, I feel it. So, but it's not like painful. It's just like, still here, and then it's a reminder. But it's a chronic thing. So I said, hey, I'm here for soft tissue work, which soft tissue is like the umbrella. Soft tissue is all the muscles, all the tendons, all the ligaments, like just massage them, strengthen them, come up with different stretches and exercises. Essentially what happened is the outside of my legs, so your quadriceps, there's 4 of them, hence quad. The outer sections of my quads is stronger than the inside, and that's always
You're not
because
doing those OBGYN machines at the gym. That's why.
Correct. But when I squat, I kick my heels in because I'm 6'1" and my toes out, and then when I squat, I bow my legs out so my knees follow my toes, so I'm always in line.
Right.
So when I did that for years, it built the outside of my quads, and it didn't necessarily focus on the inside. So when I started doing other leg workouts to focus on the other aspects of my quads, I mean, it's not that it was too late. It just didn't really matter. Like, the damage was already done. Plus, I had all the miles on my body and everything else. What ended up happening was the muscle pulled my kneecap to the right. So my kneecap is off center. So my kneecap is literally to the right side of my leg. So that's why the tendon rolls over when I bend my leg. So the only thing I can do is just kind of like strengthen the inside and then massage it, cupping, things like that. So this is literally what he says, because I got x-rays done. A doctor looked at my knee to see if he can shave off the bone growth, and he's like, I can't. If I shave the bone off, it'll rupture the tendon, because that's exactly where the tendon ties into your tibia. I'm like, okay. He goes, there's really nothing we can do except soft tissue work. I said, okay.
That sucks.
Yeah. I have insurance. It was still over $100 to go to PT every time. Every time I go. And they're like, oh, yeah, you just come twice a week. I'm like, no, I'm not. What? You're like, I'm coming once a month, bro. Like, what are you talking about? There's no way. There is no way I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So he goes like, all right, so we go through the whole thing. We go through the eval, and he's making me do these different exercises to see what muscles fire, which, like, is my body in line? Are things firing the way they're supposed to? How's your mind-muscle connection? And I know far too much already because my dad's a massage therapist. I've been going through this with multiple doctors already, so I'm able to speak the same language as him. And he's like, all right. And it helped him, clearly, but he literally said this. He literally said this. For where the bone is and the anatomy of the human body, the technology does not exist for us to solve your problem. That's what he said. And I'm like, so I just live with this. He's like, wear a brace and live with it. Yeah. I was like, okay. Like, can you massage my leg then? Like, what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, what? There's no amount of exercises I can do that can kind of like offset. He's like, well, you can get stronger in weaker areas, but at the end of the day, the bone's going to be there and we can't shave it off. So like when you boil it down to the root issue, we don't have the technology available to fix this. And I was like, sick.
But our office is poor, so come 3 times a week.
Yeah. So he ran through different exercises for me to do, stretches for me to do, like, simple stuff. Stretch your hamstrings, strengthen your inner quad, up through your groin, like simple stuff. And I was like, okay. Then he starts massaging my leg. So I'm wearing shorts, underwear obviously, and then just like a t-shirt. And he's like, lay on your back, like I'm going to do some soft tissue work, like it's all hands-on, a little bit of grafting. Do you know what grafting is?
No.
Okay, so grafting is they put like a cream on you, almost like a gel, and then they take a metal bar.
Oh yeah.
And then they massage it and break all up the lactic acid and all that stuff. So anyways, he starts with the massage and he massages my quad. Then he works his way down and massages my shin. And I was like, okay, that feels good because I'm on my right leg. I've had shin splints before. So we massaged that and I was like, all right. Then he worked his way up my tibia. And then he got right to where the bone growth is at the top of my tibia beneath my kneecap. And he took his thumbs and went on either side of the bone growth and then massaged it up into my kneecap. Then things got awkward. Because like I told you, I physically moaned. And then he looked at me and I was like, don't stop. Don't stop. And then he's like, okay. So he kept massaging it and he's like, is this painful? Like, I assume it feels good, but like, what you need to articulate so I can better assist you? And I said, first of all, no one's made me feel that way before in my life. Secondly, it's soothing. It's like a soothing sensation. And it wasn't pleasurable. It was like, finally, that specific area that's so aggravated is getting worked on. And it was, I've had 2 doctors tell me there's arthritis in the knee. So I don't know if that was it. Like, you're massaging that. There's obvious inflammation in there. So I'm just like, this is a whole different vibe.
Can you do it yourself, though? Or no? I
asked Colleen to do it because it's not hard. I don't know if I can, like, twist my way to get the same leverage that he did. And, I can massage up. And to an extent, I can get the same sensation that he was doing. But the
same sensation.
Yeah, like, dude, it was...
Oh, this whole conversation's great. Sir,
so I'm going back. I'm going back, Derek. Like, throw it on a credit card.
Right,
throw it on
easy.
a credit card. I will figure it out.
You're like Ron Swanson when he has the bunions on his foot and he just keeps going back to Andy for the shoe shine. He's like, oh, sorry, son, I'll never be back.
It was wild. So after he massaged that, then I rolled over. Then he massaged my hamstrings out, which was awesome, obviously, and then grafting and then cupping. And
he was on cupping?
He did cupping, which was awesome. So it feels like a pinch. It's not painful at all. It just feels like someone's pinching your leg. And then that was on for like 7-10 minutes. He took it off. And then there was obviously the cupping mark. It wasn't super bad. Not like what you see Michael Phelps or like the Olympic swimmers where it's a dumpster fire. But it basically eliminates the toxins out of that area and then rushes it with blood flow when you release the pinch and the cup. And my leg felt great. No joke, it really did feel good after that. So I was able to because now if I have to squat or bend down, I just kick my leg out. Like I can't necessarily do a catcher stance to the same extent. I can do it, but I can't hold it. So I have to kick my leg out and alleviate the pressure and pain that my knee is experiencing if I get right into a catcher stance. But I can't, dude, I can barely squat now. Like
is
legit.
This getting old?
Huh?
Is this what getting old is?
I don't know. I'm not even 30. And I can't back squat ever. So he's like, next time you're in, I'll keep doing that massage. I'm like, oh, that's mandatory. Like if do you know what I pay? Like you're doing that.
Can we sign a contract?
Yeah, right. Like let me see this SLA. And then
can I get that whiskey? And
then he's doing then he's gonna do an ultrasound on it and help eliminate the inflammation on a very deep level. And I was like, all right.
Jesus.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but sweet, let's do it. So physical therapy is interesting. There's a bunch of negative Nancys inside there, though. Not the staff, not the office staff, not the PTs. They're all awesome people, but the clientele, they're all like super old and just miserable. I'm like, God, it's not that bad.
Well, because they're going there because something happened and they feel like it's annoying. It's like you have to get your mobility back. Like that's the whole point of physical therapy is so you can live again.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I just can't stand how people are that negative all the time. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's wild.
So go get that massage.
I gotta get a massage. We've been trying to book ours, but we keep forgetting. I've never had a massage.
Well, if you want one for $1 a minute, that's 4 minutes from your house. You let me know.
Sounds good.
Got you. Infrared sauna's there. Heated massage tables there. Chair massages there. Hot stones.
That's so like the little like cloth thing that you can buy at Brookstone or whatever. Can you do that to your knee and give you the same type of thing or no?
No, because the balls are too. Never mind. The balls are too far apart, Derek.
Damn.
Yeah. The balls are Italian, so they're real spread out.
Just massive.
Just massive and spread out. But yeah, so physical therapy was a experience, and I'm excited for it. There was no, what are we at, 30?
Yeah.
I was going to say, that can't be 15. No way. So, yeah, dude. I had a question for you, too, outside of the weekly recap. Oh. Davante Adams is a free agent. Thoughts?
Yes, sir. About bringing him in?
No, goodness. We're not going to bring him in. I'm saying, do you think they're going to sign him long-term, or do you think they're going to give him fifth-year option? Do you think it's dependent on Rodgers?
Yeah. I was telling Tom this morning when I was at the gym. How funny would it be if they bring Rodgers back and get rid of Adams? Rodgers would literally retire that second. He'd be like, "Are you guys serious?" I bet that they bring them back. I mean, I don't know who on their team is that cap heavy where they wouldn't be able to bring both of them back for a reasonable price. Like you have Aaron Jones, Devontae Parker, Aaron Rodgers, David Bakhtiari, Minka. No, not Minka. He's on Steelers. Who's their Jair Alexander? Who's their cornerback?
Yeah, I was going to say, even defensively, I don't think they have anybody that would cause such a cap issue that it would be a thing. Because I agree with you. They can't just get rid of their best wide receiver. Yeah. And then even if Rodgers leaves,
they don't even have a backup wide receiver right now. Like
that's what I'm
the
saying.
Thing. Yeah, they couldn't do that.
Even if Rodgers does leave, regardless of what quarterback fills that spot, you would still want to have a number one wide receiver there 100%. To help the quarterback.
Jordan Love, yeah. So Jair Alexander is there, and he's on his. Is he coming up in his fifth year option too, or is he just in his fourth year? No, Devontae Adams isn't fifth-year option. No, Devontae Adams has been in the league for longer than that, right? Because he wasn't in Allen's draft class.
I thought it was a fifth-year option for him. That was part of the massive discussion.
No, dude, he's older. He's 29. He came in 2014. So he's just up for a contract extension then.
Yeah.
He's a free agent.
He's just trying to get the bag.
Yeah, so they got to extend him. They have to extend him. They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
There's no way that they don't extend him. I can see them not bringing Rodgers back, but there's no way that they don't extend Devontae Adams.
What about Von Miller?
Von Miller will be...
He just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's done.
If he doesn't retire, is he retiring already?
He hasn't said a word.
If he doesn't retire, he'll be back to the Rams.
You don't think he'll leave the Rams?
No. I think that he would probably even take a pay cut to stay with the Rams.
You see Javaris Landry wants out of the Browns?
Dude, everybody wants out of the Browns. The owner wants out of the Browns.
Kirk Cousins might go to the Browns.
I could see that. I could see Mitchie Biscuits going to the Browns.
I don't want that for him.
I could see him going to the Browns. I can see him going to the Steelers. The Steelers said that they'd be comfortable running Mason Rudolph next year. Like, have you been watching him?
I know.
He's just going to slur racial slurs at Myles Garrett again and almost die.
Carson Wentz might go to the Steelers.
Yeah. He's a train wreck.
Well,
He's got to be careful. The next spot he's in, if he fails, he's done.
you think?
He's going to get one more starter chance, and if he fails that, he's out. He's going to be a backup or he's going to leave.
What's up with Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor.
Is he a backup forever now?
Oh, probably.
Because he was rolling and then Herbert just blew up.
People are thinking that, well, is he on the Chargers?
I thought he was.
I thought he was on the Texans.
Then he got that lung punctured. Oh, no. Did he go to the Texans? Well, Herbert beat him out, basically, and then that's what caused him to go to the Texans, right?
Yeah. And then Davis Mills went in, and he's like, I don't know who I am, but I'm going to play for a little bit.
Yeah, and Deshaun is done.
I think right now Tyrod is considered the starter.
Is it Tyrod or Tyrod?
I think he came out and said it's Tyrod.
Since when?
Since he left Buffalo, because everyone's like, we've been saying his name wrong this whole time. Tyrod Taylor pronunciation.
Why is it TA then?
I don't know. Why is it?
This is why I have trust issues, Derek.
No, that's not right. Here's a correct way to pronounce Tyrod Taylor's name. It's not... Okay, so for the record, it's Tyrod, not Tyrod Taylor.
Per who? What's the source?
NFL.com.
What's the source? NFL.com's been wrong before.
Nick Toney, editor, The Checkdown. The name that tops Brown quarterback's depth charts. This was when he was on the Browns in 2018. For the record, it's Tyrod Taylor, TUH-ROD, not Tyrod, TIE-ROD. According to NFL Media's Aditi Kinkawabala. Please accept our apologies. Tyrod, we never knew. Tyrod Taylor never corrected a soul. Then he finally admitted in the interview below that Bitonio was right. Tyrod is the name his mom gave him. So, but I think right now he's still technically the starter in Texas.
Well,
or
yeah,
Houston.
Deshaun ain't figured out yet.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Davis Mills gets the starter. He was decent. I mean, besides getting blown out by us, he did a fairly decent job. He was better than Mike White, the one-hit wonder Mike White for the Jets, that threw up 5 touchdowns, put his dick on the table, and then left and never threw another touchdown after that.
Speaking of your boy...
Who's my boy?
Kaepernick is funding the investigation.
I don't necessarily hate that. I think that he's finally now putting his money where his mouth is, and I think that that's a very good thing for him to get involved with. If he truly believes, for some reason, that the entire police culture in the United States is systemically racist, he's now going to be funding secondary autopsies for anybody that was killed by a police officer. That's the best thing he could have done. I don't agree with it, but I think that that's the best thing that he could have done to say, this is me truly believing in this, and I'm going to provide money for anybody who feels like their loved one was killed by a police officer unnecessarily. I think that's a great idea for him. Do you not?
I just don't.
I don't like him as a person. But that's not affecting my judgment of his.
I just don't like. Yeah, I don't like him, and here's why.
It's his hair, isn't it?
No, I mean he should probably clean it up, but it's I don't
Listen,
really care about his hair.
I knock Trevor Lawrence for his hair. It's not a race thing. Shut up.
You do, and it drives me nuts because my boy T Law is a savage.
Dude, he needs to cut his hair.
Oh my god,
Him
whatever.
and Herbert. Herbert's trying to go with the same thing, but Herbert looks dirty. Like, at least Trevor Lawrence looks like he's used Head and Shoulders, you know?
Oh yeah, there ain't
Herbert
no
looks like I
dandruff.
use oil.
Yeah, right. I don't like the way he used his platform in the first place. I was never upset with his message. I was upset with how he conveyed his message.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree with that.
like,
I agree.
I agree. You have the platform. You don't need to kneel. You really don't. Like, there's other ways for you to get that message out, and it's just like, hey, I'm calling a press conference, and I'm gonna get this off my chest, and we should do something about it. Like, okay, like that's fine. Instead of kneeling and going, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And then secondly, he was talking about how he had it hard when he was like adopted into a super wealthy white family, and then he complained about having no money, which
Yeah.
made no sense. But now he's able to fund this. But then he also got deals through Nike. But then he also lost sponsors. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Like, you're inconsistent and hypocritical at times, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but I do
What
think
he's
that
doing now, I agree with you.
Yeah.
What he's doing now, I agree with in regards to, yeah, okay, you're finally putting
money where your mouth is, exactly.
the money you didn't have but do have
Correct.
where your mouth is. I don't know. Maybe it was lost in his hair. I'm very confused by the whole thing. But either way, there's something to be said on that front, and I'm glad that it's being discussed. And that's all I'll say about that. So, anyways, Ukraine.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, there's not enough whiskey, dude. There's not enough whiskey. So.
I don't know, man. Biden put his foot down, and he's like, "We're gonna continue ramping up as soon as you keep moving in." It's like, sweet.
Did
bro.
you watch it?
No, I don't watch anything from them. I get too mad.
You should watch. It's like 9 minutes, and then of course he just turned around and walked away, and then answered no questions because he's
87
unbelievably
minutes
weak.
late.
Yeah, he's a disaster. Well, it was supposed to be 2, then they moved it to 1, then they moved it back to 2. Like, okay. Like, I guess he had a nap. I don't know. Maybe he had a poop. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a dumpster fire. But he couldn't even, like, it was obvious, beyond obvious he was reading. And that's, regardless of who's in office, that to me is annoying. Like, you're the leader of the United States. You shouldn't have to read a prompt. Like, own it and speak. Like, what happened to the Churchills and the Trumans and the Reagans and, like, the people
And
that
Trump.
just...
I'm just kidding. I don't know how anybody can look at our political spectrum and be like, "This is what we want."
Yeah,
Like, even on both sides, everyone's just fed up.
correct.
Like, I was in a Facebook argument yesterday.
Why?
I don't know, because I like being an ass. But
You do.
Everybody-
Hence every status of mine.
I know, it's my favorite. And I love Brian's comment on it. He's like, "This is the best comment ever." Because I just love firing you up. But when you talk with people, everybody's like, once you boil it down, it's like nobody likes government. So, like, why do you want it more in your life?
That's the thing. And this is what we've always talked about. The right has historically and generally had the stance of less government, and the left has always wanted more government. And it's interesting to see when that's brought up, and then you watch everybody go into a tizzy.
Yeah.
Makes me sick, dude. But I think it's finally getting to the point where people on both sides are saying, we could do better.
So who's running for the Democratic nominee in 2024? Who do you think?
I don't know. Are there, like, any reports? There should be, because it's been 9 months of...
There's zero way that Kamala won or runs. And if she does, there's zero way that she'll win. She lost. She was the first person to lose the primary, dude.
I know.
She pulled out as soon as Tulsi Gabbard stabbed her in the throat, basically.
Yeah.
She's such an unlikable human.
Why Biden might still be the Democratic nominee in 2024.
Dude, if he is, anyone we throw in is winning. There's no way that anyone will get behind him in 2024. No way, bro.
So this is per CNN.
worst.
Combine Biden's age, he'll be 82 shortly after the 24 election. 82 years old, and he's still in politics.
What will Trump be? Trump will be 79 or 80 at that point. Trump's not that much younger than
No
Biden.
one should be in federal politics beyond the age of 60. I said what I said.
I don't hate that at all.
His ongoing political struggles.
Trump will be 77.
This is per CNN. Combine his age with his struggles, his approval ratings in the low 40s. I think the lowest is like 37, depending on the poll. You get this, a series of stories examining whether Biden runs again, and if not, who might take his place. We are in the midst of just one of those news cycles, with the New York Times publishing a big takeout on the potential Biden replacements within the Dems over the weekend. The White House, aware of the whispers, made clear Biden's planning to go for a second term. Oh, brother. The president has every intention of running for re-election, says Jen Psaki, who will probably circle back and talk about it later. Okay, so
I use that phrase now just to spite you.
Here are the names. You're going to love all of them. You ready?
Hold on, let me guess. Hillary Clinton is one of them. She's going to try to run again.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. She's the worst gingivitis, bringing it full circle.
Kamala, Pete Buttigieg, Cory Booker. Are those on there?
Kamala, Pete Buttigieg, which is that his real name, or did he change his name too?
I mean, he might. Is he married? I don't know if he changed his name. I think it's still Pete Buttigieg.
Okay.
Cory Booker.
I didn't see that one yet.
Who else could it be?
Nope. He's not on here.
Who
All right,
else
I'll
is
read
on
it.
there? Yeah.
Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Bernie Sanders.
No. Amy Klobuchar, Roy Cooper, Mitch Landrieu, Gina Raimondo, Gretchen Whitmer and Phil Murphy, J.P. Pritzker and Stacey Abrams. The point, if Biden decides not to run, chances are we would be looking at a crowd of Democrats seeking to replace him. If that's a crowd, I don't know what to tell you, but sure.
Who's running for Republican?
CNN will probably never talk about that, so let me back up and research.
Donald Trump.
2024 Republican nominees.
Did Trump officially announce yet or no? Dude, I don't want him to run again.
Here's the top 10 per the Washington Post.
Donnie 45.
Mike Pompeo. Chris Sununu, who's out of New Hampshire. Glenn Youngkin. He's the governor of Virginia. Ted Cruz. Tim Scott from South Carolina. He raised a ton of money already, apparently. $7 million in the last quarter. Donald Trump Jr. Mike Pence. Nikki Haley. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Also a Clemson grad.
Doesn't matter.
Ron DeSantis. Duh. And number 1, Donald Trump.
I will say, though, the Republican Party's looking very white. Like the nominees, white males. Like that.
Dude, it doesn't.
I understand it doesn't matter, but it's funny listening to who's potentially going to be there.
The left does the same thing. We're all about progressive views and having people from everywhere else. Joe Biden.
Well, yeah, he's the one that won, but at least they had some candidates that were different up there. We
Joe
don't
Biden.
have anybody, dude.
Bernie Sanders.
Elizabeth Warren's Indian, dude.
Oh, yeah. 1 in 10, 24,000th, whatever. Dude, what a joke. The Native Americans arrived and said, "You're not an Indian." Like, that's how much she's not an Indian. It's such a joke. Remember, here's the one on a comedic value, not a reality thing. On a comedic reason, I actually missed the nicknames that Trump came up with people.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
But do you really want him to run again, though?
No, I don't. But, like, him calling someone Pocahontas was hilarious, specifically for Warren. He had Who was super short? He called, obviously, Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, and then he called somebody was really short, and he called, I think it was like Midget Mike or something. What was,
Oh, the Bloomberg.
Yeah, Bloomberg was really short. So, and he called him Midget Mike because Mike Bloomberg. Oh my God. I just, like, that's the stuff
So
that
who do you want to run?
DeSantis, Dan Crenshaw.
I don't hate Mike Pompeo either. I think that's a good call.
Jocko Willink.
Jocko's not running.
Not yet.
He's only doing it as last resort. He's not running.
Marcus Luttrell.
He's not running either.
He just got into Congress or Senate or something within Texas. He ran and I believe he won. There's a number of Navy SEALs that are in politics that
Because they feel like they have to.
well, yeah, I mean, if they didn't write a book, then they're just going to get into politics. That's what they get. You know, it's like, here's your trident, here's your book deal, and then here's your future candidacy within government and politics, because that's what happens when you're a Navy SEAL. Like, the three biggest things. Half of that's a joke, but there's stereotypes behind it based in fact. But it's... I'm hell-bent on still wanting, regardless of party, even if there was a Democrat involved in this mix... if you served, you should be able to become president. Like, that should be a prereq. And the fact that that's never happened drives me nuts. Like, I hate that. You're the commander-in-chief and you never served. That's blasphemy to me. But, you know, I don't know.
Who in the Democratic Party served? Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Buttigieg. Who else?
What did Pete do?
I'm pretty sure Pete was in the Navy or something, right? Or Air Force? Don't. We respect all men and women in uniform.
I don't even know how to spell his name, his last name.
Buttigieg, I think. Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
I think he was something in the military.
Let's see. He was in the Navy Reserves, and he was in from 2009 to 2017. So, 8 years.
Yeah, so him and Tulsi Gabbard are the ones that in the party that served. No one else did, I don't think.
He was an intel officer, and he attained the rank of lieutenant. Which, I don't know how that correlates to Army rank, because Navy rank is weird.
But he served.
He did, correct. But he also wants to tax per mile as the Secretary of Transportation, so you're an idiot. Like, come on, man.
Well, that's the whole Democratic Party.
Come on, man. Yeah, right. And then you wonder why gas is $4 a gallon.
That's stupid, man. Talking about gas $4 a gallon and the Russia thing, I still can't believe it. It's going to keep going up, too. We don't have enough time
No, we
in
don't.
this episode to keep talking. We're at 53 minutes.
Slav Ukraine, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Slav Ukraine. They don't deserve that. There's too many good people in that country. Way too many good people that work and fight extremely hard for everything they have. Like, it's sad.
Do you think World War III is coming or no?
No.
Why? Because Biden won't declare it?
Correct. I mean, he won't fight Russia. That's pretty much it. You know, I mean, he's openly said, we're not shooting Russians. We're not going to engage in Russians. Like, every ROE is running to Poland to get arrested. Like, it's not happening. Like, everything is de-escalation. At the end of the day, big picture, grand scheme, when Russia occupies and quote-unquote takes back sections and or massive chunks of Ukraine and calls it their own again, then the U.S. is going to be like, well, we tried. Sorry. No Americans lost. Whatever. Okay, moving on. So anyways, yeah, Donald Trump in 2016 did this. It's just like, it's 2023. Like, what? Really? Yeah. So I think a lot of it is Putin's legacy. He's trying to resolve things that are internal battles where he just wants to kind of bring light to the size that the USSR was, and he just wants to bring that back as a legacy point. I think there's some ego involved and land buffer between him and the EU and oil.
How long do you think before China starts trying to take over Taiwan?
Weeks. From day of filming, which is February 23rd. Weeks. this whole thing between Russia, Ukraine, the United States is just allowing China to sit back, watch, observe, see how people react, and then they're just going to keep shifting and moving pieces, and they're just going to slowly do their thing over in Taiwan, and that's... Freedom of maneuver is powerful, and as soon as Biden got elected, other superpowers noticed and knew immediately that the focus is going to be on COVID and domestic affairs and not immigration, not global supply chain, and not foreign policy, period. And it was evident during the Democratic debates because nothing was discussed about it.
Yeah.
Nothing was...
Because they knew their stances were trash. They didn't want to talk about it.
Correct.
They don't have any stances.
Correct. And that was my biggest complaint is why don't we ask these candidates hard questions about the real world? Because everyone's trying to feel better about COVID when we all know COVID's eventually going to subside. And the one thing that's not is the fact that Putin's alive. So why don't we talk about real issues instead of what hurts right now? Because what hurts later on is going to hurt far worse than COVID. And it's every economic expert is talking about how it's going to be 1970s all over again at the gas station. People are going to sit in massive lines. The gas stations are going to run out of fuel, and then people are going to get in fights at the pump because your gas is more important than, or my gas is more important than your gas. I have to do this because this is my job. You don't really need it. You can work from home, sit from home, like whatever. It's going to be that all over again. It's going to be a dumpster fire. And it's all because of things not handled correctly, basically.
Yeah, and we shut down the American pipeline too, which makes everything better.
And that's not even to say it's a jab at American politics. It's on a world stage, and regarding all of humans from every country, we've handled things incorrectly. Like, name the issue, it was handled incorrectly. So it's just a shame. And now the Canada thing is going to impact more. We're going to feel that. We're going to feel Russia. Yeah, striking down the pipeline through Canada is really going to hinder us. Giving everything up in Afghanistan is really going to hurt us. And the last 9 months is going to be a precipice for everything that we're about to endure for the next year and a half. So, buckle up.
Grab some whiskey, stock your shelter, because we're going nuclear.
Forget a jacket, grab a lead vest. But yeah,
all right, everyone.
We will see you next week.
Yeah, this has been episode 127 of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Thank you all for joining us. I know that sometimes it's not necessarily the cheeriest conversation, but we talk about the real stuff. Start with our weekly recap and then end on some pretty high notes. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Again, you can go to patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour to be a part of our Patreon crew and be ready for our quarterly hang session coming up in late March. So if you want to be a part of that, go there, and you can sit, talk with us, ask any question that you want, and just be a good person, basically. If you want to pick up our whiskey, it is available at Addie's. You can download their app at Addie's Wine and Spirits on Google Play or the Apple App Store. You can do that right now and buy a bottle of our whiskey coming up. We do have some sweatshirts still for sale, so DM us and we can send you an invoice and ship it out ASAP. We are very quick with doing all that. Mr. COO of shipping over there will take care of that, and you will even get a personalized note. I'm just kidding. We're too busy. But yes, so if you do pick up our bottle or any other bottle that we've ever reviewed, please remember to always drink responsibly. Be a good person. Hey, Michael.
Do not let her.
Overrode.